Hello and welcome to Money and Economy Wars. Today, we re-diving deep into the fascinating financial showdown between two friendly giants, Canada and the United States. We're going to uncover 20 surprising facts that highlight the economic differences and similarities between these North American neighbors. You might think you know the story, but some of these details will definitely surprise you. Let's get started. First, let's look at the sheer scale. Fact number 1. The U.S. economy, measured by GDP, is a colossal $25 trillion. To put that in perspective, Canada's GDP is about $2.2 trillion. That's a massive difference. Fact 2 ties directly into this. The U.S. population is roughly 8 times larger than Canada's. More people, more economic activity. It makes sense. Fact 3, let's talk debt. The U.S. has a debt-to-GDP ratio of about 121%, while Canada sits a bit lower at 106%. Both are carrying significant debt, but the proportions differ. Despite these differences, fact 4 is that both nations are powerhouse economies, comfortably ranking within the top 10 globally. And fact 5 reminds us of their shared foundation. Both are considered developed, mixed economies with strong market principles, but also significant government involvement. So, to quickly recap, the U.S. economy is vastly larger in terms of both GDP and population. But both countries are major players on the world stage and share similar economic structures. Now, let's shift our focus to productivity and the people who power these economies. Fact number 6. The United States generally has higher labor productivity. This means, on average, an American worker produces more economic value per hour than a Canadian worker. But, and this is fact 7, American workers also tend to work longer hours over the course of a year. So, they're producing more, but also working more to do it. Interestingly, for fact number 8, Canada has actually seen stronger employment growth in recent years. More Canadians have been joining the workforce compared to their southern neighbors. Fact 9 might be the most surprising for many. Despite the differences in productivity and work hours, the median household incomes in both countries are roughly the same when you adjust for purchasing power. What you can buy with your money is surprisingly similar. And for fact 10, it's important to know that comparing unemployment rates isn't always straightforward. The two countries use slightly different methods to measure who is considered unemployed, which can skew direct comparisons. Hey, we're halfway through our list. If you're finding this interesting, do me a favor and hit that like button. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What is the cost of living like where you are? Let's get a conversation going. And don't forget to share this with anyone who loves a good economic showdown. Alright, let's move on to what these countries actually produce. This is where we see some clear specialization. Fact 11. Canada is a productivity leader in sectors like construction and famously natural resources. Think oil, gas, lumber, and minerals. Canada is an absolute giant here. In contrast, Fact 12 shows us that the United States leads in manufacturing, finance, and the vast services sector. Think Wall Street, Silicon Valley, and Hollywood. Now for fact 13, and this is a big one. They are each other's largest and most important trading partners. The economic relationship is incredibly deep. This leads to fact 14. The sheer volume of trade is staggering. Hundreds of billions of dollars in goods and services cross the border every single day. And fact 15 highlights how intertwined they are. Many industries rely on cross-border supply chains. A car part might cross the border multiple times before it ends up in the finished vehicle. So, to quickly recap that section, while the US is more productive overall, Canada has its own areas of strength, especially in natural resources. Their economies are not just neighbors. They are deeply interconnected partners. Finally, let's talk about the results of these economic systems, quality of life, and the road ahead. Fact 16. Canada boasts a higher life expectancy. On average, Canadians live longer than Americans. Fact 17 follows a similar trend. Canada has a lower infant mortality rate, which is often seen as a key indicator of a nation's overall public health system. But when it comes to material goods, the US pulls ahead. Fact 18. Americans have more consumer goods per capita. For example, there are more computers and cars per person in the US than in Canada. Looking at recent history, fact 19 points to a divergence. Since 2022, the economic growth paths of the two countries have started to move in different directions. With the US showing more robust growth recently, and looking to the future, fact 20 is a shared challenge. Both countries are facing headwinds when it comes to boosting productivity growth. Finding new ways to become more efficient will be key for their future prosperity. So there you have it, 20 facts that paint a complex picture. We saw the huge difference in GDP and population, the similar household incomes, the different industrial strengths from Canadian resources to American services, and the trade-offs in quality of life indicators like life expectancy versus consumer goods. It's a fascinating and ongoing story. It's more of a tale of two different paths, two different sets of priorities, leading to different outcomes. The US economy is an engine of immense scale and innovation, while the Canadian economy, though smaller, provides a high standard of living with a strong social safety net. They are both successful in their own right, and their deep connection makes both of them stronger. What the future holds is anyone's guess, but their shared journey will continue to be one of the most important economic stories in the world. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. I hope you learned something new and have a fresh perspective on the Canada-US relationship. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration. Until next time.